probably just doesn't annoy Michael Jordan. That probably annoyed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It probably annoyed Magic Johnson.
The GOAT debate just took a wild turn, and this time, it's personal. For years, we've seen the cold stares and subtle shade between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. But now, the truth is spilling out, and it shows why not just MJ, but almost every all-time legend, from Magic Johnson to Scottie Pippen, has serious smoke with King James. And it's not just the old heads either. Current stars can't stand how LeBron stacks super teams, then turns around and cries about roster help. Fans lose it whenever he acts untouchable. Even the media feels his wrath whenever they dare to question him.
I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years of everything in sports was going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
From the decision, to the dunk tape scandal, to his latest explosive beef, one thing's clear. LeBron's ego keeps him surrounded by enemies. The question is, does he even care? Or does he love playing the villain? Let's be real for a second. Nobody can deny LeBron's greatness. The stats don't lie. The rings don't lie. His body of work and insane longevity are unmatched. But here's the kicker. LeBron doesn't just want to join the GOAT debate.
It's about chasing the validation. LeBron said, in 2016, winning the NBA championship, coming back from 3-1, that's the thing I felt like made me the greatest of all time. That probably just doesn't annoy Michael Jordan. That probably annoyed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It probably annoyed Magic Johnson.
He wants to end it by crowning himself the undisputed king. And when he said it out loud, that's the exact moment he lost respect from a lot of the legends. Because here's the truth.
His career's not over. I'd just like to, why he's saying that, I don't know. Maybe he thinks that sells. Maybe he's taking the Donald Trump approach and trying to sell himself. I don't know.
It's not his game they disrespect. It's that self-appointed crown. Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, they built empires without ever needing to scream, I'm the greatest. So when LeBron took that throne for himself, it rubbed them the wrong way. But the real question is, what did MJ do when he heard LeBron call himself the GOAT? Oh, get ready. His reaction was legendary. That laugh, that smirk, that head shake. Jordan said more without words than LeBron ever could in 1,000 interviews.
My problem is more so with LeBron. If you are the greatest player, if people are saying you are the greatest player, or if people are saying Michael Jordan is the greatest player, why do you need to say it?
Fans turned it into memes, GIFs, and reaction videos that went viral. MJ's body language was priceless, and you just knew he wasn't buying what LeBron was selling. And it didn't stop there. Vincent Goodwill revealed how other NBA insiders reacted, and the responses were brutal. Danny Ainge, former Celtics GM, flat out shut it down on live radio. No, short, sharp, final. Even Scottie Pippen, who hasn't always been on Jordan's side, sided against LeBron's bold claim, and Pippen didn't just stop there.
Michael Jordan has never, ever said he's the greatest player to ever play the game. Why? He's respected all the other players before him. So for LeBron to say that, he's sort of pulling himself out of it.
He dropped a take so heavy, it shook the whole conversation, putting the spotlight right back on Jordan's character. Meanwhile, when MJ himself was asked if he was the greatest, his answer left the room frozen. No bragging, no crown, just classic Jordan humility.
I don't want it in a sense because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, all the guys that prior to me, I never had a chance to play against. You know, what everybody's saying I am, I never had the chance to compete against other legends that was prior to me.
The man let his 6 rings do the talking. That humility only made the contrast with LeBron's self-proclamation look even louder and even more arrogant. But then Jalen Rose jumped in with one of the cleanest breakdowns ever. With razor-sharp precision, Rose laid out why this whole debate is messy. Different eras, different rules, different styles.
LeBron officially passed Larry Bird and got into the top 5 when he won his final championship, his only championship in Cleveland. In my mind, he still has a way to go clearly to pass Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, 11 championships, 13 years, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
the captain.
And my heart just won't let him pass Magic just yet.
He wasn't hating on LeBron, but he made it crystal clear why the legends weren't ready to let him leapfrog guys like Magic just yet. Don't get it twisted. LeBron's resume is stacked to the ceiling. 4 titles with 3 different franchises, 4 MVPs, the all-time scoring king, and the first player to ever hit 40,000 points. His numbers are insane, but you have to understand why the hate stuck. Back when he first crowned himself the GOAT, he had 1 ring, just 1. Jordan had 6, Kobe had 5, Magic had 5. They built dynasties before daring to claim greatness. So when LeBron anointed himself too early, it didn't just sound confident, it sounded like disrespect. That's why the OGs still look at him sideways, because in their eyes, true greatness isn't only about stats.
We all know MJ. Even if you don't know him personally, he's one of the most ruthless competitors there is. And till I'm done, and he doesn't have to look at me run up and down wearing the number 23, and every time my name is mentioned with his, he's like, I don't want to fucking talk to you.
It's about timing, legacy, and letting other people call you the GOAT, not calling it on yourself. A lot of LeBron's haters still can't stand that he calls himself King James. And here's the kicker. He gave himself that nickname back in high school before he'd even stepped foot on an NBA court. Most legends had their names handed to them after proving they were unstoppable. Michael Jordan didn't walk around calling himself Air Jordan. Nike gave him that crown after he dominated. But LeBron, he crowned himself king before winning a single thing. And that's exactly why the name still rubs old school players the wrong way. Yeah, he eventually became one of the greatest ever, but calling yourself king as a teenager, that arrogance stuck with him. And it's why the nickname still feels cringy to so many today.
We have better players than him in his position already on our team, though.
And if you're wondering whether MJ actually dislikes LeBron, LeBron himself basically confirmed it on the Pat McAfee show. LeBron tried to be respectful, calling Jordan an inspiration and the gold standard of the game. But even then, he admitted the cold reality. He didn't flat out say there was beef, but everyone could see it. Jordan has zero interest in building a friendship with him. No dinners, no hangouts, nothing but silence. LeBron even confessed, "My motivation is this ghost I'm chasing, the ghost that played in Chicago." That right there shows his obsession. His entire career has been about one mission, toppling Jordan's legacy. But here's the painful truth. Even if LeBron somehow matches MJ's 6 championships, he'll never touch Jordan's cultural impact. That's the one thing stats and rings can't buy. Jordan didn't just dominate basketball. He became the face of the NBA at the perfect time. The 90s boom, the global spotlight, the sneakers, the commercials, MJ was bigger than the league itself. And that's a throne no amount of LeBron's points, titles.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision? And this fall, man, it's very tough. And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Or MVPs can overthrow. But this is where LeBron's haters double down. He's the most hated player in the league. Even while rising to superstardom, the backlash was intense. Why? Because from the jump, he hyped himself up before actually earning it. His talent was undeniable, but his self-crowning and endless self-praise made him one of the most polarizing athletes in sports history. Take Carlos Boozer's comments, for example. He and others constantly pointed out how LeBron's own antics fueled the hate. Nothing sums it up better than his infamous Chosen One tattoo. Back in 2002,
but we also know you three kings came down here to win championships. Not one, championships.
Not two.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven.
when Sports Illustrated put a 17-year-old LeBron on the cover with the headline, "The Chosen One," the hype went nuclear. But what did LeBron do? He went out and tattooed "Chosen One" across his back. To many, that was the ultimate sign he bought into his own myth way too early, branding himself as basketball's messiah before even proving it. And the receipts don't lie. By 2021, Twitter data exposed LeBron as the most hated player in the NBA. In fact, a 2022 online betting study broke it down. Over 100,000 negative tweets about LeBron in just 1 month. That's more than double Kevin Durant, who was second with around 35,000. James Harden and Kyrie Irving, they weren't even close. But the truth is, LeBron's polarizing image started way earlier than most people remember. As far back as 2008, before he even sniffed a championship, his peers were already tired of the hype. After beating LeBron's Cavs in a regular season game, Wizards guard Deshaun Stevenson didn't mince words. He's overrated. And that was just the beginning of a storm that's followed him his whole career. And you can quote me on this. One move turned LeBron James from hometown hero into one of the NBA's most controversial figures ever. 13 million people tuned in live to watch it unfold. That infamous 2010 ESPN special, The Decision, wasn't just about changing teams. It was the moment LeBron lost millions of fans for good. Think about it. This was the kid from Akron, the golden boy who was supposed to bring Cleveland its first championship. Instead of a simple press release, he puts on a dramatic 1-hour TV show, ending it with the now iconic line,
"Whiny, all the above." The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have given him everything he wanted. They have the highest payroll in NBA history. He wanted J.R. Smith last summer. They paid him. He wanted Shumpert last summer. They bought in Kyle Korver. He's the best player in the world. Does he want all the good players? He don't want to compete?
"I'm taking my talents to South Beach." Instantly, the city that worshipped him felt betrayed. Fans burned his jerseys in the streets, and the Cavaliers owner, Dan Gilbert, penned that infamous angry letter.
LeBron's a great player and a great guy, but this notion that he's got to have all the best players on his team. He's got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. He want everybody. He don't want to compete. He want to be the favorite all the time. It just pisses me off that a guy that great don't want to compete.
Blasting LeBron's exit as cowardly treason. Even neutral fans felt disgusted. It wasn't just that he left. It was the ego-driven spectacle that made it feel like he thought he was bigger than the game itself. And the backlash only grew. Forbes immediately ranked him among the world's most disliked athletes. Then came the Miami welcome party, which poured gasoline on the fire. LeBron, Wade, and Bosh stood on stage, hyped up like they were rap stars, joking about winning not 1, not 2, not 3, all the way up to 7 championships. But here's the problem. They hadn't played a single game yet. To the public, it reeked of arrogance and entitlement. Even Michael Jordan himself couldn't let it slide. When asked if he'd ever call up Larry Bird or Magic Johnson to form a super team, MJ shut it down instantly. There's no way. To Jordan, teaming up with rivals was the easy way out, something his era never would have respected. And that stung, because when the GOAT questions your competitive fire, it sticks. Funny thing is, the Miami experiment did work. They won 2 championships in 4 years, but that didn't erase the stain. LeBron went from beloved young star to the NBA's ultimate villain. Even after his redemption title in Cleveland and a Hollywood run with the Lakers, fans still point to 2010 as the moment he crossed the line. Because in sports, it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. And that TV special will forever symbolize LeBron putting himself above the game. But that wasn't the only controversy fueling the hate.
That was LeBron James coming up to me, unexpectedly, I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son.
Oh no, his critics always bring up another infamous incident, the Jordan Crawford dunk in 2009.
Can't repeat the words because they ain't suited for FCC airwaves. That's what he was doing.
Picture this. A little-known college player from Xavier throws down a nasty dunk right over LeBron during a pickup game at LeBron's own skills academy.
Record, his agent and friend, Rich Paul, has my number. Maverick Carter, who works under him, has my number. LeBron James knows how to get in contact with me if he wanted to. He never called, because had he called and wanted to talk to me, I would have accepted that call.
The gym went crazy, but minutes later, the footage disappeared. Literally. Nike reps swooped in and confiscated the tapes. The official excuse? Videotaping after-hours games wasn't allowed. But here's the shady part.
He approached me during the game, and he said, "Stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son."
Freelance cameraman Ryan Miller swore he'd been filming all day without a problem. The only time his tapes got taken? Right after Crawford's dunk on LeBron. Miller even claimed LeBron pulled a Nike rep aside before security seized the footage. That's when the rumor mill exploded. Critics called it the softest move imaginable. Proof LeBron would go to any length to protect his image.
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
And while Nike eventually returned the tapes, and yes, the dunk leaked later, the damage was done. To his haters, this was LeBron in a nutshell. A player desperate to control the narrative, even if it meant erasing the moments that made him look human. This whole situation became the prime example of LeBron's camp being too obsessed with his image, scrubbing away anything that didn't fit the untouchable king narrative. And let's be real, if LeBron had just laughed off Jordan Crawford's dunk or even given the kid props, the clip would have been forgotten. Instead, the perception of hiding it has stuck for years.
Completely missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize
Haters still use it as proof that LeBron can't handle looking human, even in a summer pickup run. And speaking of critics, nobody has been louder than Charles Barkley. The summer of 2018 put LeBron at a crossroads in Cleveland, fresh off another finals loss.
When you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players.
He started pressuring the Cavs front office to fix the roster, saying the squad was too top-heavy and needed defensive help.
My issue is with LeBron James. And I just want to say for the record, LeBron James is full of it. And in this particular instance, as it pertains to his son, he is a liar. And he went on national television today and he lied again.
That's when Barkley, never shy with the mic, fired back with a scorching critique that went viral. LeBron didn't take it quietly either. He clapped back hard, calling Barkley a hater and dropping a laundry list of Barkley scandals. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Vegas. I never said I'm not a role model. I never skipped All-Star Sunday because I was partying in Vegas.
Because he continues to lie to the world about what I said and who I was pointing the finger at. To regurgitate an obvious point, when I talked about Bronny James early in the season and I highlighted the fact that at that particular moment in time, he simply was not ready, I was calling out LeBron James.
LeBron finished with, "All I've done my entire career is represent the NBA the right way. 14 years, never got in trouble. Respected the game. Print that." That's not just a response, that's a nuclear burn. But if Barkley wasn't enough, LeBron also had a long-standing feud with Paul Pierce, and this one got downright messy. It all started during a preseason game when Pierce allegedly spat toward Cleveland's bench in LeBron's direction. Kendrick Perkins later revealed it wasn't random trash talk. It was a real rivalry brewing.
The cameras were rolling, and had I done something, what do y'all want me to do? You want me to act, you want this to be a reincarnation of Chris Rock and Will Smith? And let me state for the record that while we bring up that, let me assure you it wouldn't have gone down like that. I would have gotten my ass kicked, because had that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him.
When Pierce was asked about it, he didn't even deny it. He laughed and explained. The crazy thing about it was a preseason game that didn't mean anything. Me and LeBron were going back and forth. The bench was yelling, and I looked over like, "That's why y'all on the bench." And I spit that way. I don't know if I hit somebody or not, but I spit in that direction. But it didn't stop there. Pierce admitted tempers flared so bad they were seconds away from throwing hands in the hallway. No wonder Pierce has kept taking shots at LeBron for years. That beef was never squashed, just buried under the surface. And just when you think you've heard all the reasons LeBron's one of the most polarizing stars in sports, he goes and sparks a brand new firestorm. This time, it's not about rings, legacy, or rivalries. It's about his son, and it's turned into a war with none other than Stephen A. Smith. LeBron and Stephen A. have never exactly been best friends, but what used to be subtle shade has exploded into an all-out feud. In the latest chapter, it's uglier than anyone expected. On March 6th, after a heated Knicks-Lakers showdown, cameras caught LeBron unleashing fire directly at Smith courtside. That viral clip set the basketball world on fire. And now, this icy cold war has officially turned into a public battlefield no one can ignore. The video spread like wildfire. You could practically feel the tension blasting through the screen. Fans everywhere were asking the same thing. What made LeBron snap like that? What hidden beef finally boiled over for the world to see? The internet couldn't stop speculating until Stephen A. Smith finally broke his silence on his show, pulling back the curtain on what triggered the explosion. When Smith was asked what LeBron yelled, he hesitated, almost holding back, but the message was clear to anyone watching. Keep my son out of this. You could see the frustration in Smith's face, not just from the confrontation itself, but from how social media twisted the clip into wild theories. Eventually, Smith had to set the record straight on his own platform. Here's the real reason LeBron went off. Stephen A. had been publicly questioning Bronny James, LeBron's eldest son and Lakers rookie, for weeks, and LeBron wasn't having it. Bronny's NBA debut already came with pressure, but Smith's constant spotlight only cranked it higher. For LeBron, it wasn't just basketball talk anymore, it was personal. So what did Smith actually say? On opening night, with the Griffies in the crowd and history being made with the first father-son duo in the NBA, Smith admitted it was a beautiful moment. But then he hit Bronny with a cold dose of reality. Smith flatly said, "We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong." Ouch. That stung. And Smith wasn't done. He broke down Bronny's USC stats from his lone season. 25 games, just 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, only 6 starts. Average numbers, nothing that screamed NBA ready. He hammered home the point that Bronny's famous last name, not his game, is why he got the shot. To many, it was blunt analysis. To LeBron, it was disrespect of the highest order, because to LeBron, Bronny earned his spot, grinding through health scares, workouts, and countless hours in the gym. So when Smith dismissed it all as nepotism, LeBron saw it as crossing a line from commentary into a personal attack on his family. On the Pat McAfee show, LeBron finally explained why he lost it courtside. First, he tried to play it cool, saying he just wanted to clarify his position. But then came the real heat. LeBron claimed Stephen A. would be happy as hell about the confrontation, smiling ear to ear because he thrives on attention. Translation, LeBron basically accused Smith of clout chasing off his family's name. And that's when Smith snapped right back. Instead of backing down, Stephen A. went full-blown ballistic on LeBron, blasting him on air and straight up calling him a liar. Suddenly, what started as a debate about Bronny's skills turned into a headline-grabbing feud between two of the loudest voices in basketball, and neither side looks ready to back down. Stephen A. didn't hold back. He straight up said, LeBron James is full of it. He doubled down that his critiques were purely professional, while accusing LeBron of shady behavior behind the scenes. And then came the part that's now become a running joke. Stephen A., the 57-year-old analyst who stands at 1.85 m, throwing verbal haymakers at a 2.06 m NBA giant. The contrast alone had fans clowning online, but his words hit hard all the same. Now here's the real question. Is Stephen A. just doing his job as a tough analyst? Or did he cross the line by dragging Bronny into the fire? And what about LeBron? Is he protecting his son? Or does he just hate being criticized on any level? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on in this feud? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Because trust me, this drama is only getting messier.